Okay, so now we're ready to edit the final video, which is a combination of all this stuff. So I'll play it just for short to show you. Well, one other thing, I'll show you this box here. When you click the X, that removes that as being demonstrated on the play window. So now you won't have that silly box here because none of these are selected right now. The selected item will always put its parameters on this play window. By deselecting it, the last thing selected, then we got rid of those markers. Okay, so at this point now, what you want to do is you want to take out parts of the video where you stutter or big time gaps, things like that. So let's get rid of this big time gap right here. So you bring your playhead over here to the beginning of the time gap, and you select one of them, and you split it. You select the other one and split it without moving the playhead. Then you come over here to the end of that time gap you want to get rid of. Select one, split it. Select the other one, split it. Now if you do a cut, it automatically closes this video up against the previous video. So we want to cut this one. I don't know why it deselects everything, but it does. We want to cut that one, then we want to cut this one. Now I've gotten rid of that big delay in that video. And you can go on and do these things all over the place. You can cut, if you want to insert something, let's say I want to insert another video up here. What I've learned is bring it down so you can see everything. That way it's safe when you do this. Let's fix the end of it first of all. The end of the video, let's cut it off. So here's the end of the video. Select the bottom one. Playhead. Select the top one. Playhead cut. Select and delete. Select and delete. Now the end of our video is established. But I wanted to see the whole thing. The reason is, some of you may know you can click on one video and do control and click on the other video. That selects, puts them both together, and they're together until you click away from them. Anything you do to one happens to others, except filters. Filters won't work on dual video selections, and that makes sense. But instead of doing that, let's say you cut this timeline into like 8 different pieces. Now you got 8 different pairs of videos you have to select. So you could go and Control-Shift, click on every one, but here's an easier way. Let me click away from both of them. Just take your mouse, hold the Control key, take your mouse and drag across all the videos. Now they're all selected. If I move one, they all move. It's kind of wonky how it does it. Notice how it dropped down the wrong video timeline. I hate it when it does that. So no matter which video you click on right now, it moves all of them as one group. Now it does it partially, I guess, to speed up the motion, then it brings the rest of it when you let go, when you unclick. So I want to insert another video in here, so I'm going to move all this stuff over, keep it on the same timelines. I'm going to go up and I'm going to open a new file in my talking overlay. It's not there, so I got to go back to Shotcut. Put in my staying alive. I'm going to open that. Notice it played upon insertion, but you can disable that play upon insertion. But it's still not in my playlist. So I got to move it over to my playlist. At least I prefer to do it that way. And then I can drop it down. That way everything's in my playlist that ends up in my timelines. So I'm going to put it right here. And that's pre-can. It's a pre-can entry, so I'll go ahead and select everything again. I know there's only 4 files, so I don't have to go to the end to select them all. I'll bring it down. Now I've inserted that. You can also ripple inserts and ripple deletes. I just don't trust it. I like to be in control of what I'm doing. So I prefer to box select everything and move everything the way I want it moved. Okay, so now we go back to beginning. Tab back to beginning. Okay, So I did this on purpose. What's the problem here? Well, it's not playing the audio. Why is it not playing the audio? The answer is because that whole track has the audio disabled. So I can't put it on that track and have this audio disabled at the same time. What I can do, though, is move it up one track. Now that audio is enabled. And now when I play it, it'll play like I expected it to play. So now the video is pretty much created the way we want it. We got our audio and the lip sync alignment finished. We've inserted, we've moved things around. We chopped out sections of the video we didn't like. And we've inserted a front end video. So now we're ready to save this whole project. So we're going to export. And we're going to, don't use a hardware encoder. I'm telling you, it's just not worth it. At least not yet. Maybe they'll get that fixed eventually. Let's look at advanced for a second. Parallel processing, that does work well, and I'm using that. So I use parallel processing. If your computer's slow, you probably might want to use preview scaling, which makes it easier to do your video editing. But I use parallel processing. So I got rid of the whole thing. So I'm going to export again. Now it doesn't know where to put it, like we talked about in the previous video. So we got to tell it I want it in the talking overlay, in the titles, the project name, and I save it. Now our job's working. It's up to 5%. I'll come back when it finishes. Okay, so it took 2 minutes and 41 seconds to create that video. So I'm going to come down here now and go look at that project folder. Which is located here. Talking overlay. And we now have a talking overlay MP4. Notice we want to first back up this thing. We haven't done that yet, and we should have. So we're negligent already. So we're going to do a file save, which will update all the changes, saving the file. Then we're going to do a backup, which backs up the MLT file in case something happens to it. So now we're going to go over, go to our video, our location. And I'm going to compress all these files into one zip file. So I'm going to select them all. Go to compress them. I'll call it the talking overlay, same name. And I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, the zip file is completed, so now I'm going to take the zip file. I'm going to cut it out of there. I don't need that extra weight in there. And I'm going to come over here by Linux backups. I've got a folder, YouTube videos. I'm going to paste this thing in here. So now I have a talking overlay zip backup on a separate hardware device in case something ever goes wrong with the primary hardware device. So that concludes everything that I do whenever I want to create what I call a talking head video. Other people seem to think the talking head videos are just the person in the middle of the screen. So I had to change it to a talking overlay video. So hopefully this helps you get your first one started.